everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be talking about my makeup low buy for 2026. So for the past 4 years I've been on like a restricted makeup purchasing journey. For 2 years I was on a low buy beauty bank style and I had a starting bank of 20 credits and it was 1 in, 1 out style. And then for the past 2 years, it's been a no-buy, like a complete no-buy. And last year, I also tried to do a no-buy in other categories, such as clothing and home decor, which was fine the first half of the year, but I forgot about it the second half of the year. And now I'm doing a low buy again. Instead of starting with a beauty bank of 20 credits, I will be doing a 2 out 1 in style. So I will still have like a beauty bank, but it'll be 0. Every 2 products I finish, I can purchase 1. This way my numbers will still be going down, but I will still be able to try out new makeup. The reason why I'm doing a low buy is because I feel like my makeup products are skewed in age. A lot of my face products / cheek products are older, and my lip products, brow products, mascaras are a bit on the younger side because I allow myself to make makeup purchases whenever I go on international trips. I live in the US and I always go to Asia, and Asia's shade ranges are abysmal. So that's why I've just been buying lip products, brow products, and mascaras. However, I would like to be able to try some more makeup that's easily accessible to me in the US. Another reason I'm doing this low buy instead of no buy is because I went to Korea last year to look for these specific lip products, which I'll mention later, but I couldn't find them. I went to Jeju, not Seoul, so that's probably why, but I went to 8 different Olive Youngs, which is basically Korea's version of Sephora, to look for these products, and I couldn't find them. So they sell them at Ulta now and I would like to try them. I will say I feel like a no buy is easier than a low buy because you're not having to think about makeup at all, whereas for a low buy, because you are restricted, you have to be more careful with, if you are restricted by money, you have to be careful with your budget, and if you're restricted by numbers, you have to do more research into the products that you want, which I guess is also the case for if you have a budget instead of a quantity low buy. I personally don't really like doing monetary low buys because I will buy cheaper items that I may not like. So now I'll be explaining the rules to my low buy. I have my phone right here, which has all the rules on it. So the first rule, which I've already mentioned, is my 2 out 1 in. If I use up 2 blushes, I can buy 1 makeup product. And that's the second rule. I don't have to buy the same product that I used up. So I don't have to use up 2 blushes in order to buy a blush. Although blush was a bad example because I don't really think I'm gonna get any this year. But I can use up like a mascara and a brow pencil and get an eyeliner. So it doesn't have to be like a 1-for-1, and it probably won't be a 1-for-1. Another rule is that the product must be completely used up. I can't just hit pan on an item and count it. It has to be completely used up. But I will say, I will give myself a little bit of grace for products that expire, mainly lip products. So for like my lip glosses, if it expires, but I already used up at least 70% of it, I'm going to allow myself to call it an empty, especially if I was actively working on it. Samples and minis will also count towards my beauty bank credits. So for example, if I use up a mini primer, then it's 1 point out, but then if I get a sample primer, then that's 1 in, and it would still be like I would still have to use up 2 items to get that sample. And when I say sample sizes count, I mean products like this, they're tiny, right? But obviously there's still more product in them than a blister packet, like a foil packet would have. My 5th rule is no eyeshadow purchases. I don't think this is going to be a problem. I have plenty of eyeshadow, and after doing my declutter at the end of the year last year, I realized that I prefer to wear more neutral shadows versus colorful shadows, and I have plenty of neutral shadows. And the 6th rule is any international trips do not count. Like, for any international trips, this slow buy will not count. I am free to buy whatever I want. The slow buy will not affect it. I usually make a list of items I want before I go travel, and I do my research before I travel so that I know what I want and I don't go overboard. So that's why I feel like this is okay. And when I travel internationally, I just want to enjoy it and not have any restrictions. God, that sounded so out of touch. Domestic trips don't count because then I could just buy it at my place and then I don't have to haul it back from like Utah or something. Why did I say Utah? I haven't been since I was like 10. I do have 2 international trips planned this year and they are both in Asia. So the way the future updates will work will be I will talk about like any life updates or low buy updates that I have, like my thoughts like, oh, this is really hard or this is really easy. This will be my 5th year doing like restricted purchases or purchasing, so I'm pretty used to it by now. I will also be talking about wishlist items, empties, purchases, and reviews. Probably only be reviewing the empties. If you are interested in seeing like other no-buy items, I will probably be doing that on a separate channel because I don't want to mix up too much lifestyle content into this channel. And it was part of my New Year's resolutions to start on my lifestyle channel. That being said, I do already have a wish list. I'm not going to make a rule where I have to have an item on a wish list for X number of months because then I feel like my wish list would be really big and then I would end up buying stuff I didn't want because I just put it on my wish list for the sake of being able to potentially buy it in the future. I'm just going to try and be more mindful of what I buy. There's 4 items on here and I'll start with the first one, which is the Fwee Volumizing lip gloss in 70%. This is what I went to Korea specifically to buy. They didn't have them at Jeju. They probably have them at Seoul because there's a flagship store there. But I really wanted to try these and they didn't have them in Korea, but not long after I landed back in the US last year, they had them at Ulta, but I couldn't buy them because I was on a no-buy. I personally want to try out the shades Scotch and Rozy. They're very similar and they're both rose brown. I am concerned slightly that the pigment will fall into the lines on my lips, which I feel like usually happens with lighter color lip glosses. It's not as much of a problem with like a darker shade. But I really don't like that look, so I might just buy one to try. The second product that is on my wish list, I actually saw this morning. It is the Covergirl Trublend Skin Enhancer Baked Bronzers, and they are reminiscent of the Hourglass bronzers. And because I change shades really quick in the summer and the winter, I think the last 3 shades, or the 3 darkest shades, there's only 4 colors by the way, would work well on me and my skin tone, which are Toasted Butterscotch, Caramel Truffle, and Sweet Espresso, and it's from lightest to darkest. It has been so long since I've tried anything from Covergirl, so I'm interested in trying this. I think the last thing I got from them was either an eyeliner or lip product. The third item I have is the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Eyebrow Pencil. So I heard Judy talking about this pencil and how it lasts her for a very long time, and she barely has any brows and I barely have any brows. So I want to try it out, but I'm actually going to be cutting and dyeing my hair in a week or so. This is probably not going to be the first thing I purchase because I have so much brow product left, but this is on my wish list. The fourth thing I have on here is the NYX Brow Louder Brow... No. Gosh. Okay. The NYX Powder Louder Brow Powder Pencil. Why is powder in there twice? I do have this pencil from NYX. It is basically the older version of that. I just sharpened it like yesterday, but I use this every time I do my makeup. I feel like this is the second or 3rd year I've been using this same brow pencil. I think this is the 2nd year. And this is the last one I have left. This is from pre-COVID times or like beginning of COVID times. I can't remember off the top of my head anymore because so many things have come and gone. But this is the shade Taupe, I believe, and I really like this because it's lasted for a really long time, and I do prefer the powder look over like gel or pomade. Apparently it's a different formula than this. Like the new version is a different formula. The packaging is definitely different, but if it doesn't work out, then I can just use eyeshadow to fix it because it's supposed to be powder anyways. But yeah, I'm interested in trying that. That's probably like the last thing I want on this list. I think I actually put it in order of what I want the most to what I want the least, which is interesting because I just did it in the order that came to my mind. So this is perfect. And that's everything for this intro. Hopefully it's short and sweet, especially for the editor, which is me. That's how intros go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next month. Bye!